Washington State Cougars, and the anticipation is running high on the Palouse. What an exciting matchup we have in store for you this afternoon, built around the pageantry, tradition, and everything that makes college football great. As we'll see a squad from Conference USA, the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, taking on a team from the Pac-12, the Washington State Cougars. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. Washington State lined up to kick it off and get this game going. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. So the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs offense takes the field to start this game off. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, all power, all those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead. And it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the sideline. It sparks the coaching staff. It sparks the fans. They're special players, and they all have to play well today.
Fires on the run. He's got it inside the 25. And I wasn't sure they were going to be able to catch him. They finally did, but they gave up a huge play. The entire complexion of this possession changed on that one play. Now they've got it 1st and 10 inside the 20. Defense there to stop him after he picked up a yard. Ball's at the 17.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. Here's the pressure. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
Well, on the opening drive of the game, establishing a rhythm and a cadence offensively is really, really important. They've done some good things on this first drive to put them in this situation. Obviously, you just threw an incompletion on 2nd down. Likely going to throw it again here right now. Quarterback has just got to settle in. Timing is important.
Looking for the end zone. Oh, and he dropped it. He had a touchdown right in his hands and couldn't hang on. It'll be 4th down.
Once you start to get down here towards the goal line, it's so much more difficult to throw the football. And you really want to stretch the defense sideline to sideline and use your speed and take advantage of the grass when you see it. They try to take a little bit of a shot down the field unsuccessfully. Nice job by this defense.
Kick is good. The offense has 3 points to show for the drive. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
After putting up the field goal, they're set to kick it away. He'll start the return inside his 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. So the Washington State Cougars offense has the ball for the first time. But Jesse, it's always fun to see a guy who's been challenged, see if he can answer the bell and get things done.
Well, we talked to him this week, and he knows that people are out there questioning him. I think that leaves a big chip on his shoulder, David. He wants to prove to the entire college football.
And the pressure gets there, and down he goes at the 18.
You spread me out, I'm going to speed you up. Nice job. They go empty. Nobody in the backfield to help the quarterback block. The linebacker comes right up the gut, gets to the quarterback, gets him on the ground.
And the Cougars have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Dropping back, it's Potter. Here's a heat. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
And it's hard to imagine starting a game any better than this defense has. 2 sacks on the opening drive of the game. Something that they pride themselves on. If they get you in these types of situations, they can pin their ears back and get after you. They've got multiple guys that can be a factor when it comes to rushing the quarterback. You're seeing that very early here in this game.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he'll have to turn it loose deep. Caught in the backfield, it's Johnson. Looked as if they might have that screen really set up, but he'll be stopped short of the marker. It's 4th down.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You've set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
They booted away. Now on the return. Bottled him up, not a whole lot of room to run on that return, and that's how this period will come to an end. We've reached the end of the quarter, guys, and Louisiana Tech is on top. And we've come to the end of the first as we take a moment to check out the stats so far. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. First play of the period, 1st down here. They'll start this drive with a pass. Finds his tight end. No chance to run, but they still move it forward. Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on 1st down, setting up an easier 2nd down. Understanding I don't always have to push the ball down the field, but see the tight end, make the throw. No, it's not a big gain, but makes life really easy on me on 2nd down.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Pulls it in, it's Wiggins. And they wrap him up, but not before he gets enough on the catch for the 1st down.
I just love quarterbacks that aren't greedy and that aren't always trying to throw the home run ball, right? 2nd down, you're in your own end of the field. The guy you want to throw to is not open. Just find the back. He'll go do something positive with it. This guy is a weapon, and you got to find him in the passing game.
To the air on 1st down. Oh, it's picked off. Bringing it back. He's at the 20. And it's going to be a pick 6. Touchdown, Washington State.
And this is exactly what you dream about for a defense. Forcing the big turnover, making the pick, and then putting points on the board yourself. Great play by the defense.
Ready to try the point after. And the extra point is good, and it's a 4-point lead. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? On the run from inside his own 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Grabbed behind the line, it's Wiggins. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Love the awareness by the defense here. They're trying to get the running back the ball in space, but the defense was expecting it. They had guys in position, they located the football, and they went and gang tackled.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Throws for the tight end. Snagged in the middle, it's Finley. We got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Now from the 40, it's 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. And the ball comes out. What disastrous play.
It's so hard to force fumbles, and when you do, you so badly want to get them. You're crawling, you're doing whatever you can to get there as a defender, but the offense fortunate enough to cover it back up.
The Bulldogs trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Second down, they'll go to the air. Setting up the screen. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down.
Well, a nice gainer on that running back screen. Now, how about the offensive line getting downfield and getting blocks to really help out the back, find some space to go to work?
Let's see what they do on third down. He's looking downfield to throw. Under heavy pressure, lets it fly. He's got it inside the 15. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the offense will decline that penalty after the big play. Louisiana Tech back to the line with a fresh set of downs. Off the play fake on first down to throw. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
And offensively, that is not ideal. That is not what you want. But you know what? Now you got a little bit more space. It's harder the closer you get in tight to the end zone. So now you got a little bit more space. Maybe you can...
Touchdown Bulldogs! Grabbed in the end zone to put 6 on the board.
A really nice job on their final drive of the first half, David. Calm, cool, collected. They had balance, excellent execution. They're going to take a lead in here at halftime.
It's so much easier to go into half with that positive momentum, that positive juice. Now we can point to what we just did. Great job taking the lead. Now you go make your halftime adjustments.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point puts them up by a field goal.
That makes the score Louisiana Tech 10, Washington State 7.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Now they've got even more breathing room out to the 31 and a fresh set of downs. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. To the air, it's Potter. Makes the grab. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. They're looking to throw on second and short. Here comes the heat. Pass is incomplete, and that's going to do it for the first half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Thanks, fellas. Looks like you've had a very enjoyable day there today in Pullman. And how do we possibly begin without singing the praises of this receiver? His ability to find gaps, run textbook routes, and then show that breakaway speed. He simply is the total package. How this secondary responds, whether they try to double team him or get aggressive at the line, that'll be the story of this second half. And with that, let's send it back to the fellas on the Palouse at Martin Stadium.
Louisiana Tech about to kick it off to start this second half. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Washington State has it back, and they'll send the offense onto the field. Tight game as we start the third quarter, and we'll see what type of adjustments they made at halftime. Oh, he's got some space. Just what they needed, an explosive play in the running game, and they're out to the 49-yard line before he goes out of bounds. The Cougars, after exploding for that huge run, back to work. They're going to go right back to him on first down. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And you're seeing on both sides really hard to run the football in this one. You've got to give both of these defenses tons of credit. They are so physical up front. These defensive lines can take the game over, and right now, it's tough sledding on the ground.
They'll run play action. Can't find a man, and he'll be knocked down at the 40.
And this offensive line's got to do a better job. Man, you got to protect your quarterback. Listen, this offense is not playing great, but they got to somehow find a way to start to get something together here in the second half.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. With the catch, it's Ellison. Across the 50 and knocked out of bounds at the 48. An explosive play gets this offense working. That play didn't have much of a chance to get the first down. Good job by the defense keeping everything in front.
Great job keeping everything in front, and most importantly, making the tackles. Dropping back deep, knowing it's third and long, but I got to get the guy on the ground and rally to the football. Nice job by the defense.
That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. From the shotgun, the inside give. And he's able to shed one tackle and pick up pretty good yardage.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
Man, oh man, am I upset at my offensive line to give up penetration that fast? Man, we blinked and missed it.
He barely got the ball. He just got destroyed immediately. What a great play. And the Bulldogs come to the line on third and short, looking to keep this drive moving. They're going to go to the air on third and short. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
I think going into halftime trailing, this defense knew that they were going to have to start making plays here in the second half. And early in the third quarter here on this drive, they get a sack. That is really good news for this defense.
Louisiana Tech will have to punt. They'll boot it away for the first time tonight. Excellent coverage and tackle that time, and that's how the third quarter comes to a close. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. That's the end of the period. It's Louisiana Tech holding the lead. They've built a cushion. They've got a nice lead. Now the task is finish the deal as you take a look at the third quarter stats. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth. They'll go back to work with a first down in the final period. Looking downfield, it's Potter. A strike downfield. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down.
Hey, you've created some great momentum, getting the stop, forcing the punt, now getting it back to your offense. Your offense starting to get in the groove. Late in the game, you need some big plays.
You just wonder how much panic there is right now on the defensive side of the football, too, because of what you just said, David. They can feel and sense the momentum leaving them right now with the lead. So someone defensively better step up here soon and make a play.
Another incompletion, and I've said that a lot, and these teams are just struggling. I mean, the offense just doesn't know what to do. Nothing's working, ground game, throw game. It's kind of been a rock fight on both sides.
Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. Hands it off. Turning it on. Nice pickup on the ground there. They'll move the sticks with the first down.
And I think that's what you want to see from this offense down the stretch. Like, can you physically dominate the game? You've got the lead. Now run the football, eat clock, continue to feed your dude.
Washington State going back to work on 1st down. From the red zone, looking for a receiver. And the pressure will get there. The sack. Down he goes in the waning moments. That could be a costly play. The Cougars now with a long way to go to pick up the 1st down. Gonna sling it on 2nd down. He's got the tight end. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker.
And this is the time where I'm a defense. I'm slow to get up. I'm making sure I stay on that offensive player. I'm trying to eat up as much clock and make this offense burn as much clock, Palmer, as I can.
And this coaching staff right now, you know they're looking at the analytics too, right? How many timeouts do we have left? We want to think about dialing up some play calls that get guys catching the football or get the ball out of bounds to stop the clock. You've got a good rhythm right here. You're in a good position of the field to go win this thing, but you've got to be really smart with your play calls.
So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. It's good. He hit that one right down the middle. Final minute of play, all locked up. Are we headed to overtime?
I am not always the most positive guy towards kickers. We all know that. But how about that, man? First opportunity in the game in the 4th quarter when your team needed it. The game now tied because of his foot.
And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Makes the grab. It's Finley. Timeout on the field, and we've got a dandy all tied up late in the 4th.
Nice quick throw there, and it's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw, and you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on game day.
Awesome job. Run the football, right? It's really basic. Go to those plays you know can get you 1st downs, get you some extra set of downs, then you can go make big plays.
Now on 1st and 10 from the 29. Wants to throw on 1st down. That's caught. It's Singleton. Timeout on the field and 4 ticks left to go. The Bulldogs with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Back to throw, and he needs to make a play. It's incomplete, and the clock strikes 0, and we are headed to overtime. 4 quarters not enough to settle this one. We're headed to overtime.
And these teams have played so well, back and forth, evenly contested game. How about a little free football, Jesse?
Yeah, I love this, David. Free football and finding out which of these two teams is the most mature, who can settle down now with the game on the line and make the big play.
All right, guys, so here we go in overtime, and just to refresh everyone's memory, alternating possession starting on the opponent's 25.
And you want to play defense first because you want to know what you need. That's a key philosophical approach for most teams when it comes to overtime, David.
Yeah, and remember the rule change a couple years ago, too, and the second overtime and two-point conversion. So all this stuff is situational type football that you better have worked on throughout these weeks of the season.
Dropping back, it's Potter. He's got an open man. Touchdown, Cougars. And they grab the lead here in overtime. The defense just lost track of him. There's no other explanation. I've got to assume they knew he was in an eligible position.
Or it was just ridiculously good scheming on the offense, Reese. I mean, just an unbelievable job of getting your guy wide open.
Now to push the lead to 7 in overtime. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. Now on first down, they need to answer with a touchdown. Trying to start the drive with a pass. Looking left. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, it's a great job by the back end of the defense that time, making up for what the front end of the defense couldn't do. The quarterback had all day to throw that ball, but it was the hit in coverage that forces the incompletion.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Wants to go up top. The sure hands, it's Wiggins. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
And that's kind of a lot of today's running game, right? Split the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers in space, get positive yards. It's instead of running the ball a couple yards up the middle, now you just spit it out wide, and a lot of times if you break a few tackles, it could be even bigger.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Unloads to the wideout. Catch in the middle, it's Singleton. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it 1st and goal at the 6.
And that's a really good example of a quarterback and his intended target both being on the same page. The timing was almost perfect on that play. That's why they were able to convert the 3rd down, now setting up 1st and goal.
He'll set up to throw. Looking for the score. Touchdown, Louisiana Tech. They got the score. Now to see if they go for the win or the tie.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game day.
They need this extra point to send it to double overtime. And the extra point is good.
The kick is good. That ties the game at 17.
One extra period didn't get it done, and we start the 2nd OT. Looking downfield on 1st down. Grabbed in the middle. It's Finley. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion.
Yeah, and I love running my tight ends across the formation. Just big targets that I can find a way to get the football to. Nice snag, nice little positive gain for my offense.
Louisiana Tech now has it in the red zone. Rides the back on the option to give. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Forced out of the pocket. Touchdown, Louisiana Tech! That score gives them the lead here in the second overtime. Well, that didn't necessarily go as planned, but it was most effective in the end.
I love it, Reese. Down in the red zone, this quarterback didn't have anybody open. Didn't panic. He just decided, man, I'm going to go do this myself. I'm going to use my wheels and put up 6 on the board. He did just that.
Now in the second overtime, you must go for the 2-point conversion. Wants to go up top. He's got him in the flat. They can't convert, and the lead remains at 6, and now they'll have to go on defense.
Louisiana Tech, 23. Washington State, 17.
They know what's in front of them. They have to answer that score with a touchdown. Back to pass, it's Potter. Fires to the wideout. It's complete. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be first and goal.
The thing I like about this slot receiver, he's really intentional in his route running. The quarterback always knows exactly where he's going to be on the field. They've got great chemistry.
First and goal as they try to answer with a touchdown of their own. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Trying to pound it in. They finally get a hold of him, knocking him down behind the line of scrimmage. He had been running wild.
It's now second and goal.
Yeah, what a great job by the defense. You got to understand, it's physical time, right? They want to run the football when they start getting inside the 5. Nice job getting penetration, getting the tackle for the loss.
After getting knocked back, it's second and goal from the 4. Back to pass. Touchdown, Cougar! They got it in to tie it up here in double overtime, and now the 2-pointer will win it. Have to go for 2, starting in double overtime, and this one would win the game. The snap sets up to throw. They got it! The 2-pointer